Hello, this is SJ Talks from Life coming back at you with another video. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Please and thank you. If you're looking at me on your phone, it should be that button that's right down there. Okay, go ahead and hit that for me. I appreciate it. I did a video talking about men trapping women into. I was talking about the situation where this young lady was going to sign up custody for her daughter because she felt like the man coerced her into having a baby. And I was talking about men trapping women. It's something that is not really talked about because women are always predominantly the ones that are always blamed for children outside of marriage. The women are always blamed, and it's something that's really never discussed about men trapping women. Because it does happen. Men do trap women, and I talked about this practice called stefaling. It's called stefaling. Stealting. Stefaling. Non-consensual condom removal. I briefly talked about that in that video. I want to go more into detail about that practice because I want to give you guys more information about that practice. And I want to educate men out there about this practice. And so I Googled it and I got the exact definition of stefaling because this is something that's not talked about. It's not. I haven't, all the years I've been on YouTube, I haven't seen people too much. Like I said, the YouTuber by the name of Joel's. Her name is Joel's something like that. She mentioned it in her video, but it's other than that. I haven't seen anybody else on YouTube or Facebook or any other social media platform talk about this. And I think this is something that needs to be talked about in men and women. It happens to a lot of women, but it's something that's not talked about. And of course, the manosphere is not going to talk about it. And so I just want to educate. I did a Google search on it, and I'm going to read to you guys some information about stefaling. And then I'm going to do a commentary. Too many cars come past here. Stefaling, non-consensual condom removal, is the practice of a person removing a condom during sexual intercourse without consent when their sex partner has only consented to condom-protected sex. Victims are exposed to potential sexually transmitted diseases such as HIV, AIDS, or unwanted pregnancies. Such behavior may be therefore regarded as sexual assault or rape, and sometimes as a form of reproductive coercion. As of 2020, stefaling is punishable as a form of sexual violence in some countries, such as Germany and the United Kingdom. Not here in the United States yet. Purposely damaging a condom before or during intercourse may also be referred to as stefaling, regardless of who damaged the condom. History and Practice. In an article published in Columbia Journal of General Law, Alexander Brodsky described victims' experience, legal implications, and legal avenues to address non-consensual condom removal. The term stefaling has been in use in the gay community to describe the criminal transmission of HIV since 2014. Interesting. Brodsky described how the practice of stefaling is discussed, described in advance, or advocated for on various websites or forums. These forums are sometimes used to brag about committing stefaling, to share tips on how to do it. How to guide have been posted on social media platforms like Experience Project. The practice has also been described as a threat to victims' bodily agency, as a dignitary harm. And men who do this justify their actions as natural male instinct. Stefaning is likely not new, but it's definitely not new. But its promotion on the internet among men is new. Belgium journalists, and that's what I'm saying. I haven't really heard the manosphere really talking about that. Belgian journalist Helen, I can't pronounce her name, emphasized in 2017 that the media should not refer to Stefaning as a new sex trend, as it were a harmless fad, but make it clear that it is a form of abuse. Now I'm not gonna read all of some other stuff on here. I'm gonna scroll down to legal issues. In review, Brodsky called for non-consensual condom removal to be legally considered as a kind of sexual assault, but also reviewed as difficulties in doing so in legal areas. Breaking an agreement usually is not considered a crime, and that mispresenting one's true intentions does not make it a sexual illegal act. Thus, the most successful argument for making non-consensual condom removal punishable would be the inherent pregnancy and infection risk of unprotected intercourse. Australia, I think is trying to make it into law. Australia, Canada Supreme Court upheld sexual assault conviction of a man who poked holes in his condom. 8 years later, the same court ruled that people who don't wear a condom despite being asked by a sexual partner may also be convicted of sexual assault. Germany, a man was found guilty of sexual assault. Germany's first conviction of Stefaning. Netherlands. In March 2023, a 28-year-old man in the Netherlands was convicted of coercion for secretly removing his condom despite the victim's explicitly stating she would not have intercourse without one. The man could not be convicted for rape, but because the law in the Netherlands does not cover penetration without a condom, there was consent for penetration itself. The man was sentenced to 3 years probation. He was sentenced to 3 years probation. New Zealand, a man was convicted of rape for performing Stefaning during consensual act of sex with a sex worker. Switzerland has put their foot down about it. United Kingdom. Okay, scroll down to United States. United States, outside of California, laws in the United States do not specifically cover Stefaning. As of 2017, there were no legal cases about it. Because I think in that video I said something about California having a law. California does not have a law against Stefaning. But it says California in 2021, the California state legislature passed a bill sponsored by the Assembly member Cristina Garcia, which would make it illegal to contact between penis from which a condom has been removed and an intimate part of another who did not verbally consent to the condom being removed during sex. Such an act would then be punishable as sexual battery. Previously, Garcia introduced similar bills in 2017 and 2018 for the California Criminal Code, but they didn't receive a hearing or died in committee. So Garcia sought to add the provision to the state civil code. I hope I'm not reading too fast for you guys. In October of 2021, Governor Gavin Newsom signed a bill which made the practice a civil offense, which makes it not a crime, but an act that allows victims to sue over the act. So it's not a law in California, but it allows victims to sue over the act. Impact and risks. Removing and damaging a condom during sex increases the risk of unintended pregnancy and the transmission of sexually transmitted diseases. The victims may feel betrayal, and many victims see it as a grave violation of dignity and anatomy. Many also experience emotional, psychological distress, especially those who have experienced sexual violence in the past. Okay, so that's the information on And it's on Google. I'm reading this on Wikipedia, but there's more information on YouTube or Google. There's more information on Google about this practice. Um, yeah, California doesn't have a clear law. I think I said in that video they did. It doesn't have the lady did try to get it into law, but um, she Christina Garcia tried to get it into law, but it didn't go through. But they did make it so a person could sue if that happened to them. So it's as of right now, it's not a law in the United States against that. But men, I just wanted to educate people about this practice, and particularly men. Men, if you are practicing this, if a woman clearly, it was clearly understood before sexual intercourse that you were going to wear a condom, and you take it off during the course of intercourse without that woman's consent, you are violating that woman's rights. It is a violation of that woman's rights when you do that, because that woman has the right to be protected during intercourse from STDs, HIV, unwanted pregnancies. Men, if you are practicing this, if you are taking condoms off during the act of sexual intercourse, that is assault. It is assault. It is a violation of that woman's rights. Okay? Because if a pregnancy occurs, then you're going to blame her for it. Society's going to blame her. And, she's going to have unplanned pregnancy. And y'all both going to have to deal with that. So that's stupid. If there's a sexually transmitted disease that's transferred as a result of that, then y'all got to deal with the consequences of that too. So that's very dangerous. You can be endangering your health. You can be endangering that woman's health by doing that. So men, if you are practicing stapling, which is a removal of the condom during sexual intercourse, if you are practicing this, stop. Stop it now. It is a violation of women's rights. Okay, if there was a clear agreement before intercourse occurred that you were going to wear the condom for whatever reason. And I don't want to hear this stuff about, she should have backup birth control and this and that. I don't want to hear that stuff. Bullcrap. Because you got to protect against STDs. If it was a clear understanding before intercourse that a condom was going to be used, and you take it off during the course of intercourse, you are violating that woman's rights. And it is a form of sexual assault. Whether you realize it or not, it is a form of sexual assault. So if you are a man out there of any race and you are practicing this, stop it. Do not do it anymore. I hope that they can make this a law in the United States. And it's like in some other countries, they're kind of cracking down on this. But I hope that the United States is so doggone sexist but I hope in the United States this becomes a law. They kind of implement that and make that a law. They said that it was a problem amongst the LGBT community as well. That's a problem. It's an issue because people can get sexually transmitted diseases. Women can get unwanted pregnancies, unplanned pregnancies. So it's a problem, okay? So if you are a man and you're doing this, you need to stop it, okay? Because it is a violation of that person's rights. You are violating that person's rights. If y'all had a clear understanding that a condom was going to be used, and you take it off during the course of intercourse without their consent, you didn't have their consent to do so, you are violating their rights. And you are putting them at risk, and you're putting yourself at risk of catching an STD, unplanned pregnancies. So I just wanted to educate you guys, read you some information about that. And I wanted to educate you guys about this because Men are doing this. It's very common, but it's something that's not talked about. Women don't talk about it. The manosphere or all the manosphere is not talking about. Of course, they're not going to talk about it. Of course, for obvious reasons. But they said it earlier in the article that the men was bragging about it or whatever situation. All the years I've been on YouTube, I haven't heard too much talk about Stephaling or even on Facebook or any other social media platform. So it's something that's kind of hush hush. Is not really talked about. Women don't talk about it. I know, I don't know if I type it in on YouTube. I'm see if I can find some other videos on it. I don't know, but I haven't seen any content on YouTube about it other than Joel's when she mentioned it in her video. So I just wanted to give a more clear definition of it and read you guys some information about it. And so just to get it out there to educate the public and educate people about how this is very bad because you're putting people at risk of catching and yourself at risk of catching a STD or unwanted or unplanned pregnancy can occur, and that's not okay. That's a violation of that person's rights when you're doing that. So, just as a warning to men, if you're doing that, stop it. Stop doing that. Stop it. Just stop. Okay, let me know. Hit me up in that comment section, and let me know what your thoughts are. Um, Go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, and share, and that notification bell so every time I do a video, you'll be notified. And until the next video, you guys be blessed.